When it comes to chocolate, Nutella is in a class all its own. It's not quite as rich and decadent as some other chocolate spreads, but it's also not as healthy as others. Despite this, it's an incredibly popular brand with a devoted following. But how do they make it? Nutella was first created in 1940 by an Italian pastry maker named Michele Ferrero. Ferrero was already successful at that point. It built up a company making confectionery products such as gianduja, a type of hazelnut chocolate. However, World War II soon broke out and ingredients became hard to come by. Ferrero was forced to get creative with what he had and experiment with new recipes. It just so happened that one of his experiments would go on to become one of the most famous chocolate creations of all time. In order to stretch his supply of cocoa, Ferrero added more sugar and hazelnuts to his gianduja recipe, turning it into a thick, spreadable paste. He called it Nutella, which is derived from the Italian word for hazelnut, Nutella. While it was originally meant as a wartime food product, it proved so popular that Ferrero decided to keep producing it after the war ended. Today, Nutella is produced by the Ferrero Group, the same company that makes Ferrero Rocher chocolates and Tic Tacs mints. According to the company, each batch of Nutella starts out with 50,000 pounds of edible hazelnuts. These are roasted and ground up to form a hazelnut paste. Then 20,000 pounds of sugar are added along with 3,500 pounds of cocoa. The mixture is heated and stirred constantly until it becomes smooth and creamy. Finally, 6,000 pounds of palm oil are added to give it the right consistency. This gives you 100,000 pounds of Nutella. But not all Nutella is created equal. While the original recipe hasn't changed much since 1940, different countries have their own variations. For example, in Germany, Nutella contains 10% more cocoa than the original Italian recipe. And in the UK, it contains 20% more sugar. Why? Well, it has everything to do with taxes. When a product is higher in cocoa content, it falls into a lower tax bracket. So by adding more cocoa to Nutella, manufacturers can pay less in taxes. This is why you often see chocolate products with percentages listed on the packaging. The percentage indicates how much cocoa is in the product. So if you want to pay less tax, all you have to do is add more cocoa. Of course, this doesn't affect the taste or quality of the Nutella. It's just a clever way of reducing costs. As for the actual production process, it's highly automated. Machines do most of the work, although some products still require a human touch. For example, the finished Nutella is inspected by hand to make sure it meets quality standards. Even today, no more than 100,000 pounds of Nutella is produced each day. That's because part of the charm of Nutella is that it's handmade in small batches. Of course, this isn't actually true. Nutella is produced in huge quantities every day. But by sticking to the original production method, Nutella has managed to maintain its image as a high-quality artisanal product. Speaking of image, Nutella is known for its distinctive glass jars. These were actually chosen for practical reasons. In the early days, Nutella was sold in metal tins, but these were expensive and difficult to open. Glass jars were cheaper and easier to work with, not to mention more visually appealing. Today, the jars are still the same as they were when they were first introduced, except for the lids. The original lids were made of tin, but these were prone to rusting. Today, Nutella lids are made of plastic, but only the outside is plastic. The inside remains tin, which prevents the Nutella from oxidizing and going bad. So next time you enjoy a jar of Nutella, take a moment to appreciate all the hard work that went into making it. From the skilled Italian pastry chef who invented it, to the machines that produce it today, there's a lot of history and tradition behind this popular chocolate spread. And while it may not be as rich or decadent as some other chocolate spreads out there, it's definitely got a special place in our hearts and on our toast. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so you never miss another one. Until next time.